Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maryam and this is kind of wild because I'm filming another video within a week and a half since my last video, which never happens, but I got a lot of positive responses from my last video and it's really motivating me to talk a lot about mental health. And like I promised from my last video, this video will be about how I survived and pushed through the hard times, things that I learned along the way, so that you guys don't have to go through what I did, or not as bad. I spent a lot of money and time in therapy and just researching a lot of different things to do to help myself. And if this video can help at least one person, that would mean the world to me. But yeah, it's very sad that for my last video, if you haven't watched it, it's about my story of going through depression and my experience in Waterloo the last 8 months. And it's a tough video, it's a hard video, but the reaction that I got from it is insane. I think over 250 people have reached out to me on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. So yeah, thank you for sharing your stories. I definitely do want to continue these series of mental health type videos because I'm very, very passionate about it, especially after going through it. And it's not like I've completely overcome it. Some days are harder than others, and I feel like recovery is such like a roller coaster process. It's not linear at all, but I've learned a lot of new strategies along the way to help myself, and on bad days I don't get as sad because at least I'm not in that place that I was 4 months ago. So I really tried to look on the positive side of things, but yeah, I'm very excited to film this video, but I hope you enjoy this video and let's get started. Alright, so number one is accepting how you feel. I am so guilty of this one, and it took me over 4 months to accept that I was sad and depressed, because I thought that I would wake up one morning and I'll just feel great again. Like all my problems would be solved, everything's good, Maryam's back in business, but that's not the reality. It's not how it works. I think accepting that you're sad and that you are trying to find ways to help you is like the first thing to do when you are in a state of depression, because if you don't accept how you feel, you're constantly going to shame yourself and it's not going to help with anything. It's also not part of you. Depression is not all of you. It's just a part of you. It's just a small factor of you. And just because you're depressed for 4 months, 2 years, to 5 years, it doesn't mean that's always going to stick with you. I feel like when I listened to a podcast that talked about how depression and anxiety is just a small piece of a big part of you, is what really helped me accept that I'm feeling sad right now, but it's not going to be this way forever. The second thing that I did, this was a hard one to really ingrain into my system, but was not to overthink too much about the future. Just because when I was stressed and depressed, I would think about every aspect of my future, like where I was going to work in the future, who I was going to marry, where I was going to live, what is my family going to do, where's my sister going to be. Overthought about every single aspect of my life, and that really put a lot of pressure on myself because I'm like, I'm not feeling good right now, I'm never going to have a job, I'm never going to have a husband, I'm never going to do this, I'm never going to do that. And that added a lot more pressure on myself because I'm like, I need to fix myself right now so I can do whatever I want in the future. And that put so much pressure on myself. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna chill out. I can't think about tomorrow. All I'm gonna do is think about how I'm gonna get through this day today. My third advice is very spiritual, and I don't want to talk too much about my religion, but it is a big part of me. So I'm gonna say this one because this one really, 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 really helped me get through it. But one of my friends, we were driving back from the lake or something, and she just told me that I told her my story and how I was feeling, and she just looked back at me and she's like, Maryam, did you know that Allah is God in my religion? Allah shows you your whole life from the start to the beginning before you're born and asks you 70 times if you want to live this life, and before you're born you accept it. And that really shook me. Every time I talk about it, I get goosebumps because I'm like, that's insane. That's so beautiful. life is good, even though some months or some years may not feel great. Like, there is gonna be light at the end of the tunnel, and I really believe after hardship there is ease. Like, there will always be ease, as long as you believe that's coming. The fourth thing that really helped me is acupuncture. So putting needles in my body. I did this a lot in my ACL knee. So after surgery, acupuncture is really good for like scar tissues and stuff. But I also told my acupuncturist that I have a lot of stress and anxiety, and I dealt with depression. And he actually treated people with it. So he put needles and spots in my body that help with those things. And you can also find a lot of videos on acupuncture to do at home as well. So just pressing some points, like I usually like to press this one. This helps with headaches and also stress and anxiety, and it also helps with falling asleep. So it's kind of cool. I know there's a lot of studies and research into it. Some people don't believe in it, which I can completely understand as well, but for me, it really helped. The fifth thing that really helped me get through it is just slowing down and just breathing. There's this thing on TikTok that I saw to feel more present, to do these 5 things. I'll put it on the screen because I'm definitely gonna get it wrong. But this really helped me to feel more present again and to feel alive, because a lot of times when you have anxiety or depression, you think a lot about the future or too much about the past, and you're not really living in the current moment. So this really helped me to reconnect my thoughts and be in the present moment. I also found a lot of joy and peace when I found a Muslim community. So when I came back to California, I was like, I really want to find a good Muslim community, which I already had before coming here, but I reconnected with them, and every Tuesday we go to Surat, which is like a Muslim community where they talk about just a lot of different topics. Like, they have a khutbah, so it's like a speech or a talk about things in our life, and it always connects back to the Quran or God. So it's really nice to have that community to reconnect with every Tuesday, and to feel more connected with my community, because I really like the masjid and I really like being involved in the Muslim community because it really does bring me a lot of peace. The sixth thing is a routine. Having a routine really helped me overcome whatever I was going through, because I just felt more excited about the day. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wake up, go to work. After work, I'll go to the gym. After gym, I'll eat dinner. And then after that, I'll chill. But with school, I had zero routine, because every day was different, with different assignments and different classes and different projects and people, and I was just so overwhelmed. I'm just like, I don't want to do anything. Like, I hate it all. Like, I don't have any time for myself and to take care of myself. So that really made it worse. So being in Waterloo for that period of time when I had so many classes and so many things to do, I was just like, I'm done. I'm over it. Like, don't make me do anything. Seventh is an obvious one, but it's being out in the nature. I think I am 50% granola in my DNA or something. Like, I'm very outdoorsy. I really find a lot of peace with the ocean and mountains and everything. So it's really nice to be outside and to just breathe the air outside, because being inside makes me go crazy. Number 8 is environment. Having a very good environment around you really helps. Like, if I didn't have my roommates or my sister in Waterloo, it'd be over. Like, I'm not joking with you, but I freaking loved being around people. And even though when I was going through it, I wasn't as connected to the people around me, because I just didn't want to be like a burden or like a sad distraction, or like reminding them that like I'm not okay and like they have to do something to help me, because I really didn't know how to ask for help. But having people around you really helps, and I love the people I'm out with on the weekends and stuff in California. So that has definitely helped me overcome it. So yeah, thank you if you've been my friend through this the past 6, 7, 8 months. You've definitely helped me overcome whatever I'm going through. So I really appreciate the people around me. Even the small interactions, like even a hi, a text, all the small things really count and helped me get through it. The next thing is something that I'm very passionate about, and shout out to my roommate for introducing me to therapy. It took me 3 therapists to really believe in it. I'll just put it like that, because at first I was like, what is this? Like, why do people just talk? And I realized that it takes time to find a good therapist. So And I'm gonna make another video about therapy because I think there's so many things about it that makes it work for each individual, but it's very unique to a person. But for me, 3 things I wanted in my person was Muslim, Persian, and also someone who's gonna help me and give me advice rather than just sit and hear me talk. I don't know if it's because I'm an engineer that I need like an algorithm or an approach to solve my issues, or else I go crazy. And sometimes in life you kind of have to like let it be and let God or the universe do its thing. But sometimes in my life I feel like there are things I can do, or things that I can like change my mindset about, to really help me get through it. So I really think therapy works, but I do think it takes time to find the right person. So definitely consultations are important to ask the important questions. I'll definitely make a video about this because I think there's things that you could ask and vibe check with, to make sure that the person that you're chatting with and sharing a lot of personal information is someone that you can trust and really feel good about after coming out of therapy. Number 10 is I struggled a lot with dissociation, like not being present in the moment and thinking my life is not real in the moment. And I asked my therapist on ways that what I could do to help myself. And she said running your hand under cold water or putting like cold things on your face really helps you like feel more present. So I started putting cucumbers on my face. Like I just get a cucumber and cut it into pieces and then I put it in the freezer and then I put it on my face or rub it in, and it's actually really good for your skin. And that has helped me just feel more alive and has made my skin a lot smoother. So that's a big plus as well. Tapping, I think it's called ETF. I don't really know the name for it, but like just tapping your face, it makes you feel more present in the moment. So that's also something that has kind of worked for me, not always, but like sometimes when I'm very overwhelmed, I just like tap, or like I just like tap on my hand, just like so that, you know, I'm awake, like I feel more present. So yeah, might help for you guys as well. But definitely do research into it because I don't know too much about it, but I heard it or saw on TikTok and I tried it and it does help me, especially before falling asleep. I just tap and it feels good. Number 11 is my favorite one in this whole video, and it's coloring. But coloring easy things, because low-key I'm very impatient. So I got this coloring book, and it has a lot of simple designs. I'll show you guys one. I literally got it from Amazon, and I just color. I just color because I got these very cool and nice markers. I'll link it in the description below, but I freaking love coloring. Especially when I get in arguments with people, like on FaceTime or something, or like disagreements, I just pull up my book and sometimes just color, and it really helps me just calm down and be like, it will be okay. I don't know, maybe it's just unique to me, or maybe I'm just like a 5-year-old child, but coloring really helps me just like de-stress. Like it's definitely a really good de-stressing tool, and sometimes last week I think I did it every morning and I just felt great before work. Number 12 is something that I mentioned in my last video, but it's working out. That has always helped me feel good, until I got surgery and I couldn't work out. But something I found to kind of replace that a little bit is the sauna. The sauna is great. I feel so good after the sauna, and it's also really good for your brain and your heart. There's research backed with that. So definitely look into that and see if there's a sauna near you, because it helped me a lot. 13 is a class at Waterloo. I think this class should be a required class for all students, and that's Health 105. It's mental health. I'm taking it right now, and I've learned so much about mental health through that class, like different mental health disorders, things that you could do to help someone who's going through it. It also talks a lot about like the universe and spiritual stuff as well, which I always really appreciate, just because like even though I'm Muslim and like I'm spiritual and religious, I always have appreciated other religions and other spiritual rituals as well, so it's nice to learn about them as well. And it's been a super helpful course, probably my favorite class so far at Waterloo, which is kind of crazy because like I'm in my 4A term and mental health has been my favorite class. What does that say about me? I don't know. Next is reading. I've never been a huge reader in my entire life, but I think it does help you like imagine things in your own perspective, because you can interpret the words in the book your own way. So that's always been super helpful for me. I've recently got back into Colleen Hoover books because they're such easy reads, and they're very romantic and nice. So it's nice to just have something to like look forward to at the end of the night, or to start your day with, like reading a book or a page. It just helps you like detach from whatever you're going through. Next one, number 15, is having a supportive group of people around you. I know sometimes, like, you know, you don't choose your family, so sometimes you might not get along with your siblings or your parents. The people that you do get to choose to spend your time with, maybe find like people that are positive or happy, or, you know, just like finding a good group of people, because like that always helps. Like I think humans are such like social people. Even if you're introverted, you just need to socialize and be around people, because it does help you like get through whatever you're going through. Number 16 is some breathing techniques. This just really helps you to calm down and just like reflect on this present moment. Personally, yoga hasn't really helped me, because whenever I'm doing yoga and it's quiet and like I have time to think, I'm thinking about the worst things in my life. So I'm overthinking about the negatives rather than the positives. But breathing has helped me. So the 4-7-8 technique is really great. So breathing in for 4, holding for 7, and breathing out for 8, and doing that 4 to 5 times. It just helps me calm down and really be in the present. Number 17 is medicine. I believe that it works, but I do think that you should only take it when you really need to. I don't think it's for everyone, and I know that the side effects can be really bad, but I really believe in science and medicine, and I think that if you need to, you should, and you shouldn't feel embarrassed about it, even if your parents don't encourage you and it's not part of their society. It's part of life. Like, medicine has helped in a lot of different areas of life. It might be not, maybe when you're going through reviews online, you're just gonna see bad things, but you always have to keep in mind that whatever is posted online is usually the negatives, because people don't share their positive experiences with things. So keep that in mind when you're reading reviews about if you should or should not take antidepressants. Oh, number 18 is a really nice one that my acupuncturist told me to do. But he said whenever you're overthinking or whenever you're having a bad moment, just say this phrase to yourself: how can I make this moment even more beautiful? Because with that saying, you're implying that this moment is already nice and beautiful. You're positive, you're appreciative, even if it's not. And so now thinking about how you can make it better might change your mind to the positive side of things, and think about the small things, the small wins. And it really helps me feel that I will get through it. Like, this is just a bad moment, but I'm gonna make it good again. Oh my gosh. This one is a funny one because when I was going through it, I would listen to so many positive podcasts about life, and like they all made me feel like shit, because I'm like, I'm never getting through this. I don't feel good after listening to this podcast that says how to feel better after 10 minutes. And I'm like, I don't feel better. But what I did do when I was listening to this podcast is jot down some of like their positive affirmation stuff. Even though I didn't believe in any of them in the moment, I wrote them down, and now looking back at them, I'm like, oh, this is pretty good advice. But in that moment, I just wanted to like shut off the podcast and like dip. But one that stuck with me is one from Mo Gawat. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but his podcast really stuck with me, and like I try to listen to it every month or so. I'll link it in the description because it really changed my perspective on things. He's also an engineer who went through depression, so it really connected with me because, you know, engineers do sometimes think alike. We all have ADHD or something. I'm joking, but that one was a really good one, so I'll definitely link it in the description. Number 20 is saying that you are not okay. Like, it's fine to not be okay. I felt so ashamed every time I said I'm not okay, because I felt like I had so much in my life that I had to be thankful for, even though in that moment I didn't. So I think it is okay to say that you're not okay. I felt so bad in those moments, especially when my dad would ask me how am I doing, and I'd be like, I'm not good. But once again, like, I am so thankful for my dad, and I'll share something a little personal. When I was going through it, my dad felt really bad, and he would drive up from Toronto to Waterloo almost every week, and just get dinner with me, and it just was nice to have him there, and I think I got a lot closer with my dad, so I'm very thankful for that. And some things that he'd say to me is just, Maryam, smile. Like, even though you're going through shit, just smile, just laugh, just life is too short to be serious all the time. Like, just let it go. Like, whatever happens. If you fail your classes, you fail your classes. You tear your ACL again, you tear your ACL again. Like, let it be. Like, sometimes in life we can't attach ourselves to things that are not permanent because we don't know if it's going to be there tomorrow. So just smile. Just smile right now. If you're watching this video, smile, because what? Why not? Number 21 is something I know not everyone can do, but leave Waterloo. Like, just leave. I didn't know that life could get better, but I left Waterloo and things slowly got better. I'm really joking, but things are good in Waterloo, and I think Waterloo is a great place, but sometimes it's not going to be your best time in your life. Like, whenever I was going to university, people would always be like, university, the best time of your life, party, life, good, students, no responsibilities. But to be honest, I had better times in my life when I was on co-op rather than school. So it's very person dependent. Like, I think leaving Waterloo was a very good decision for me, and I don't think I'll be back in Waterloo for my last term, even though all my friends will be there and it's gonna be nice to have everyone back. I just don't think it's a place for me, especially right now, because every time I think about Waterloo, I feel not good about it, and I just don't want to go there yet. Maybe once I'm healed I will, but as of right now, I've left Waterloo and I feel great. Number 22 is journaling. This did not always work for me because I was looking back at my old journal entries and I saw, oh my gosh, so much negativity. I just complained about every single thing in my life. And sometimes that's good because you're letting go of, things that are in your mind and just writing it down. But it didn't really make me feel that much better, to be honest. But that brings me to my next point. Number 23 is writing down the good in your life, even if you don't believe it. Like, I sometimes had to just write down the things I'm happy for. Like, oh, my bed. I'm thankful for my pillow. I'm thankful for the shirt I'm wearing. I'm thankful for my pants. I'm thankful for the small things that we don't think about every day. So I was just writing down things, the smallest things in my life. I think I even wrote down, I'm thankful for my pencil. I'm thankful for my toothbrush, my toothpaste, because sometimes in life you don't have those things. Like, what's going on in other parts in the country, some of them don't have these things that we take for advantage and things that are basic necessities. So it's just nice to just write down the good in your life, even if you don't believe it. And that also brings me to my next point, is planning imaginary trips. I love planning trips, and this summer I planned so many trips for me and my friends in California, and planning imaginary ones are so much more fun. Like, I just plan things I saw on TikTok or places in Europe, nice places, so that I can dissociate from Waterloo and be in Hawaii. So that was really nice. I also liked designing my future home if I were to have one. So I did a lot of time looking at aesthetics that I really appreciate and looking at plants and furniture that I want in my future house, even though I didn't know if that was going to be guaranteed. But it's nice to just have something to look forward to and to dissociate from the current moment, because I was living in a bubby apartment in Waterloo, so having something to look forward to, designing some nicer place to live in was a very good feeling. Number 26 is a funny one as well, but it's spending money. I freaking love spending money now that I feel good. And I know it's also a very privileged thing to say, because not everyone can spend money on whatever they want. And don't worry, I don't like branded stuff, I don't like expensive stuff. I like small things, just jewelry, or a nice shirt, a nice dress, a nice pair of shoes, just the small things, $5 makeup, just small things to treat yourself, because when I was going through it, I didn't want to buy myself anything. I didn't want to dress nice, I didn't want to look nice, I didn't want to feel nice, because I felt like I couldn't fake that externally. So when I went to school, I looked like ass, but it's fine, because now I get excited. I get excited to dress nice, I get excited to try my new makeup, I get excited to put on new clothes, and spending money, sometimes I need to control myself, but it's nice to feel good again, and it's nice to just put on a nice outfit and, go outside and go for a walk and just, feel good. Next one connects to the last one, because I think instead of spending money, sometimes we can spend it in other areas in our life, and it does make us feel good, or it makes me feel good, donating or just volunteering, because, you know, sometimes I think about like, oh, I'm so privileged to be here right now, because 4 months ago I did not want to be alive. So I don't know, now I just really feel like I have to help people, my parents, my family, my sister, just helping everyone and celebrating. I love celebrating birthdays. Now that I've been through it and I know what it's like to not want to feel alive, birthdays are such a huge blessing in our lives. Like, I freaking love celebrating birthdays now. Like, I love surprising my friends. I love celebrating people because, you know, life is so sacred, and it's sometimes not always gonna be how you want it, but that's what makes it beautiful. When you go through rough times, I think it really opens your eyes to your beautiful moments, because, you know, life isn't always gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be a roller coaster, but you will get through it. You really, really, really will get through it. Number 28 is understanding and accepting that everyone has their own reason in life. Everyone has their own story, their own reasoning for things, and so just letting them do what they want to do is sometimes like the biggest advice I can give to people. There was a Mel Robbins, I don't know her name, podcast about the let them theory, and honestly I really relate to it, because sometimes you just have to let people do their thing and you just do your own, and sometimes it just all works out, so just let them. All right, the last one is accepting all your decisions. When I was going through it, I felt so guilty about every single decision I made in my life. Returning back to my old internship, doing surgery, taking 6 classes, you know, tearing my ACL, doing cheer, doing gymnastics. Every single decision I made in my life, I'm like, that was a mistake. And sometimes it really throws you off. Like, it makes you feel like crap. I think honestly, guilt was something that was really big in my depressive episode. Like, I felt guilty about everything I did, even though my intentions were not to hurt myself. But sometimes just accepting that the decisions that you make in that moment is based on the knowledge that you have. Like, you didn't know that it was going to hurt you or impact you this much. And so remembering that you don't want to hurt yourself, you just wanted the best for yourself, but sometimes life doesn't go the way you want it to, really helped me just feel better about my situation. And I really accept it now, because now looking back, I am thankful that I went through a very sad moment in my life, because now I appreciate the small things a lot more, and I've learned a lot through it. Like, the small advice I got, like just smiling every day from my dad, or volunteering and donating, it really does help you. But in that moment, I didn't want to listen to anyone. Like, nothing helped me, nothing made me feel good. But it's a small progress. Every single day you're getting 1% better, and just understanding that you will feel good again gave me hope. And I kind of just had to accept that I went through shit and there was a reason for it, and now I'm starting to understand. I'll never know why I went through such a bad, low moment in my life, but with hardship comes ease, and now I can relate to more people, and I feel like I understand people's pain better. And so whenever I have conversations with people, I just feel like I get it. I get what it's like to be sad. I get what things feel like, and I just want to give people hope that things do get better. Life does get better. Life is good. Like, life is so good. The universe is here to help you and not to make you feel worse. As long as you're a good person, good things will come. And I am thankful for everyone who has reached out to me about, you know, how I'm feeling now, and I'm thankful to be feeling a lot better, and I want to help more people. So I'll be definitely making more videos about this. I also want to make a video about my 3B and 4A term, like what classes I took and some highlights, because there were highlights. More positive videos on the way. And I also talk about my ACL recovery, because thankfully I can run again, and I'm so happy. I can do leg day. So it feels nice to be back. And I'm so thankful for everyone who watches my videos and everyone who reaches out. But until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye, everyone.